I've learned something strange about human nature. We will spend years avoiding the very discomfort that could set us free. We sit in the same chair, live in the same patterns, think the same thoughts, hoping life will somehow feel different. But here's the truth. Change will hurt you for a season. Staying stuck will hurt you for a lifetime. One is the pain of growth. The other is the pain of regret. And if you listen closely, your future self is already begging you to choose wisely. I've learned something over the years. The most dangerous place for your dreams isn't a battlefield, it's your comfort zone. It looks safe, it feels familiar, but it's a prison dressed up as a cozy home. You think you're free because you can move around in it. But those walls aren't made of bricks, they're made of habits, routines, and fears you've convinced yourself are protection. The truth is, comfort zones are where potential goes to sleep. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The very discomfort you try to avoid is often the exact path to the life you've been imagining. I remember a time in my life when I was making just enough to get by. I had food on the table, a roof over my head, and I thought that was enough. But then I realized something unsettling. Months were passing, years were passing, and I was still in the same place. That so-called security was slowly becoming my cage. I wasn't failing spectacularly, but I wasn't growing either, and that, my friends, is just another form of failure. Think about it. A tree that stops growing starts dying. In wealth building, in personal growth, in relationships, it's the same principle. Staying where it's comfortable feels good in the short term, but it starves you in the long term. The marketplace rewards those who take the uncomfortable step. Starting a new business when you've never run one before. Making that extra sales call when you'd rather relax. Investing in yourself before you see the return. These aren't just moves, they're the keys that unlock the cell door. Discomfort is a signal. It's telling you, here's the next level, but you can't bring the old you with you. When you're willing to lean into that, you'll discover that the walls of your comfort zone were never locked. They were just waiting for you to walk through. The cost of staying stuck will always be higher than the price of change. Progress is never free. It always sends you the bill, and that bill is usually paid in pain. Not always the kind that leaves bruises, but the kind that stretches you beyond your limits, makes you question yourself, and forces you to trade the comfort of easy for the discomfort of growth. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." That's the truth. Pain is not a punishment, it's tuition for the education you need to reach the next level. I can't think of a single skill, achievement, or transformation in my life that didn't cost me something. Waking up earlier than I wanted, missing events so I could focus on a goal, putting in hours of work that no one clapped for it, all hurt in the moment. But here's the thing, every time you choose the hard road now, you shorten the distance to where you want to be later. That pain you feel in your legs after a run, that's strength being built. That awkwardness in your first business meeting, that's confidence under construction. In the marketplace and in life, the ones who rise are those who understand that pain is not a signal to stop, but a sign they're moving in the right direction. Think of an athlete training for the Olympics. Every drop of sweat, every sore muscle, every moment of exhaustion is a payment toward their dream. If they stop paying, progress stops showing up. So the next time you feel resistance, don't run from it. Don't look for a shortcut. Instead, say to yourself, good, this is the cost, and I'm willing to pay it. Because in the end, the pain will fade, but the results, the strength, the wisdom, the freedom will stay with you for life. The path to anything worthwhile is paved with discomfort. And if you're feeling it, you're closer to your breakthrough than you think. Growth is not just about adding more, it's about letting go of what no longer serves you. Just as a snake cannot expand without shedding its old skin, You cannot step into your future while clinging to the habits, mindsets, and identities that belong to your past. The philosopher Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." Growth changes you, and change demands release. I've seen people sabotage their own progress because they wanted transformation without transition. They wanted the new life, but they didn't want to part with the old one. But you can't pour fine wine into a cracked cup and expect it to hold. You have to be willing to break the cup, to make space for something better. Maybe for you, it's letting go of the need to be liked by everyone. Maybe it's giving up the belief that you're not the type to be successful. Or maybe it's dropping the habits that keep you comfortable but stagnant. Think of a tree in autumn. It doesn't cling to its leaves in fear of being bare. It lets them go, trusting that new life will come. That's how growth works. The shedding feels like loss, but it's actually preparation. Every layer you strip away, whether it's an outdated belief, a toxic relationship, or a self-imposed limitation, makes you lighter, faster, freer. So when life pushes you to let go of something familiar, don't fight it. Understand that you are not losing yourself, you are revealing your truer self. You're creating space for the person you're becoming. The old skin served its purpose, but it's not your home anymore. Step out of it. Walk forward. And remember, the person you're becoming will thank the person you are today for being brave enough to let go. Excuses are comfortable. They let you avoid discomfort, shield your ego, and justify inaction. But they also lock the door on every opportunity for change. As the Roman poet Horace warned, asterisk, he who postpones the hour of living is like the rustic who waits for the river to run out before crossing. Asterisk. The river will never stop flowing, and life will never be perfectly convenient. Fear often feels like a warning to stop, but in the journey of growth, it's usually a signal you're exactly where you should be. As the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus observed, asterisk, the soul is dyed the color of its thoughts. Asterisk. And fear often shows that your thoughts are touching something bigger than your current self. It's the trembling before a leap, the quickened pulse before a performance, the uncertainty before a bold decision, the signs that you've stepped out of the shallow waters and into the current of real change. Fear only shows up when you're moving towards something that matters. Nobody fears sitting still, because stillness costs nothing. But chasing a dream, asking for an opportunity, speaking your truth, these moments threaten the comfort zone you've lived in. And that's why fear rises. It's not there to push you back. It's there to show you the edge of your old life. Think of the soldier before battle, the sailor before the open sea, or the young scholar before presenting to the king. Their fear didn't mean they were on the wrong path. It meant they were facing a moment worthy of courage. As the Latin proverb says, asterisk, fortune favors the bold. Asterisk. When fear whispers, what if you fail? Answer with, what if I grow? Every breakthrough in history was guarded by fear, and those who pressed forward discovered that the monster at the gate was smaller than they imagined. The presence of fear is proof you've found a threshold worth crossing. Step through it, and you may just find the life you've been searching for, waiting on the other side. The great transformations in life rarely come from a single grand gesture. They are born from the quiet, steady power of small daily changes. As the Roman poet Ovid wrote, asterisk, dripping water hollows out stone, not through force but persistence. Asterisk, one push-up turns into 10. Reading a single page each morning becomes a library of knowledge over years. Speaking a kind word each day reshapes the atmosphere of your relationships. The mind often underestimates small actions because their results aren't instant. Yet those tiny steps compound, weaving into habits that shape your identity and your destiny. The farmer doesn't plant one seed and expect a forest the next morning. He tends the soil, waters consistently, and trusts time to do its work. In the same way, small disciplines, waking up a little earlier, saving a few coins, choosing a healthier meal stack upon each other until the shift is undeniable. Ancient wisdom reminds us, asterisk, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Asterisk. That step may feel insignificant in the moment, but it's the seed from which transformation grows. Think of the mason placing brick after brick, not glamorous, not headline-worthy, but in time, a cathedral stands where there was once empty ground. Small daily changes are the hidden architects of great futures. If you honor the small, the big will take care of itself. A year from now, you'll look back and see that the mountain you've climbed was built from 1,000 small, deliberate steps. And it all began the day you decided to start. Every time you say, I can't, because what you're really saying is, I won't try, because I'm afraid of what might happen. Excuses give you a false sense of safety, but that safety is a prison disguised as comfort. You think you're protecting yourself from failure, but in reality, you're protecting yourself from progress. Look at any area of your life that hasn't changed in years, and you'll likely find an excuse sitting there like a gatekeeper. I don't have time might be blocking your fitness goals. I'm not ready might be keeping you from starting that business. I'm too old might be standing between you and a skill you've always wanted to learn. These phrases feel harmless, but they steal your future one small delay at a time. The truth is, the perfect time will never arrive, the conditions will never be ideal, and waiting until you feel ready means waiting forever. People who move forward don't have fewer obstacles, they just refuse to let those obstacles become permission slips for staying the same. Excuses are the language of stagnation. And progress speaks a different dialect, one made of action, persistence. The moment you trade I can't for I will figure it out, you start breaking the cycle. The choice is simple, either make excuses or make progress. But remember, you can't do both. When all is said and done, the truth is simple. Your growth, your success, your transformation will never come from waiting for the perfect moment or from hoping life will somehow get easier. It will come from the choices you make every single day, the choice to shed what no longer serves you, to stop making excuses, to move toward the very fears that try to hold you back, and to commit to the small, consistent actions that quietly shape your destiny. Discipline will not always feel good, but it will always take you somewhere better. Fear will not disappear, but it will reveal that you are walking a path worth taking. Discomfort will not break you, it will strengthen you if you let it. So today, I challenge you to stop waiting for permission, for motivation, for the right time. That time is now. Begin. Push through the resistance. Embrace the grind. Stay consistent when it's boring and stay focused when it's hard. One day you will look back and realize that every step, every struggle, every choice built the life you once only dreamed of. Your future self is waiting. Don't keep them waiting any longer. Start today.